it's a robust group. I do a lot of lunch. You don't get these kind of crowds, so it's kind of nice to see everybody up and at 'em. Obviously, we're right down the road, and coming in May, we're going to have something very special. As you know, we're supported partially by a levy of Franklin County residents. And what we do when we embark upon the levies is ask people what they want their zoo to be. So the last time that we had the levy, we did the polar bears. That was the #1 animal that people asked to have back. So we built Polar Frontier. As you know, it's an award-winning exhibit. You may have seen in the paper yesterday, though, that if you go there for the next several weeks, you're not going to see any polar bears. And that's a good thing. We brought in a male polar bear by the name of Nanook, and he's a gigantic, but he's a little bit geriatric. He's 24 years old in the polar bear world, and the sisters that he was brought in to get to know are 6. So I guess in the wild the age gap doesn't make a difference. Polar bears have a very complicated breeding process, and the girls now are in basically maternity dens, but they have to be in absolute safe in their eyes and quiet. We've changed the locks on everything. We've only got a couple keepers that are even able to be there. And the problem is one of the biggest predators for baby polar bears is the dad. So he was on exhibit too close. They knew he was there. So we've had to isolate him because they have to be made to feel as comfortable as possible if they're actually going to have cubs. So there's no pregnancy test for polar bears. So we have to kind of just look at signs, and we're obviously hoping that both of them may then deliver some cubs in the spring. But if they are pregnant, you won't see them. They'll keep the cubs. The cubs only when they're born are about as long as a yardstick, so it's kind of hard to believe. But so they're tiny and they'll live with their moms, and they won't come out probably till spring. So fortunately, a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. But the next thing that we told people, and it's kind of hard to believe because, as you know, we've been kind of listed as the #1 zoo in the country by several sources, is that we don't have any giraffes and we don't have any zebras. So we're bringing giraffe and zebra back, and that's what Africa is going to be. It might be a little hard to see here from the back, but this is our footprint of the zoo, so you can kind of, So right here is Old Powell Road, and you can see our parking lot here. So the entrance to the zoo is here, but our Polar Frontier area is right in here. We're building Africa on the north side of Powell Road. So the first phase is about 45 acres, but we own basically this entire footprint. So you can see we have over 500 some acres, but we're only using a little over 200. So we've got about 130 acres on the Aston's farm that we acquired. Originally, the Safari Golf Course was going to be Africa. But when we acquired this property and they rerouted Powell Road, it gave us a bigger front door for the golf course. That's actually a profit center for us, which is kind of interesting in these days. There's not a lot of money to be made in golf, but we're making money in golf. So we're going to turn this first phase into what we're calling Africa. Our goals are to bring zebra and giraffes back, to integrate Jack Hanna, to make it a very special, interactive, immersive experience, and do everything from at the highest level of environmental sustainability.